Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Deacon AC Dumas, and we're live with 810 News Media Group, Brother Mickey Jordan, and we'll be live on the air 1420 AM WFLT shortly. We just want to thank you, our Facebook friends, for tuning us in. We're glad that you tuned us in, and we're getting ready to go live on the air very, very shortly. Good morning, good morning, good morning to our listening audience, WFLT, and to our Facebook friends on 810 News Media Group, and also on AC Dumas Facebook. We're just happy and delighted to be here. But before we get started, we'll bow our heads in a word of prayer. Our Father and our God, we do thank you for this day that you have made. You have commanded that we rejoice and be glad in it. And Father, we thank you for the day, and we're rejoicing and thank you for another hour that you give us power to go through, and that our beds weren't our cooling boards on last night. So we just give you all the honor, praise, and the glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Good morning to our Facebook friends and also to our WFLT listening. I hope you had a great and joyous Thanksgiving Day. This is the day after, and we're going to have a powerful show today. My guest today is Art Woodson, a community activist. Hey, Art, how you doing?
Good morning.
And we just want to say that we're going to two hot topics we're going to have today. We're going to talk about the board of canvassers, and then we're going to talk about the Black Agenda, and the board of canvassers. And Art, I'm going to let you start off. Go ahead about what happened down at the board of canvassers. You were down there I guess it was about every day. I was down there a couple of days, maybe 3 days, but you were there all day long. Tell our listening audience and our Facebook friends what happened.
Just good morning, Facebook fam and 1420 listening audience. Just going down, just trying to see because I got a phone call to watch 5 precincts. It was 2, 21, 40, 55, and 56. So going down there, it was different. It was quiet. Everything was going smoothly until they got to Flint. And when they got to Flint, all hell broke loose. Oh, can I say that on?
Yeah.
Oh, so chaos broke loose, right? And every time Flint came up, it was always serious issues, not just something that you can work out. I'm talking about serious issues. So with 55, they couldn't balance the books. So they called the city of Flint over, and they told Gloria Boone to send over all the documents.
Who is Gloria Boone?
Gloria Boone is the election director.
Supervisor.
Flint, election supervisor.
Right.
So she's over the election. She's delegated to be over the election. So they called her, and she said that she had sent the emails for the remarks the night of the election. They told her that they didn't receive them. So they said, forward those emails. They never got those emails. So when they did get the paperwork and the documentation, she sent them over with this African-American female that was the chairperson of that precinct 55. She didn't know what was going on with it, right? So when she gets over there, you had a person that voted that wasn't registered in the whole state of Michigan that voted. You had 2 people with the same ballot number, ballot 143. And then this one thing happened where they seen a name, Isis Brown, on the ballot, on the list of voters. They call it the list of voters, right? And they saw that name, And they said, wait a minute, we didn't see that name on the original copy.
Okay.
So they got to questioning her, and she said that Nate added the name.
Nate Moore, they said his name is.
Nate Moore.
Yes.
They said that they added this name on the list of voters to go with the ballot. It's the name was added to the list of voters to the account, which was not voted or spoiled, but was located in a spoiled envelope. The clerk's office stated that they believe this to be the only way they could spoil the ballot in the computer. They added a name. It's like snatching Yogi Bear out of the air and just putting him on the list saying that he voted what you did.
Don't exist. Maybe. I mean,
no, they don't exist.
They don't exist.
No, they did not vote that day.
Now, Gloria Boone has been the supervisor of the City of Flint Election Division for many years.
Correct.
This is not her first rodeo. And she is responsible, although you have a city clerk, the city clerk delegates responsibilities to the individual employees that work in her department. Like for licensing, she have people that's in licensing. That's what they do, licensing and business. That's right. What they're delegated to. So Gloria Boone is delegated to do the City of Flint election. And I know I was there when they wanted her to come over, and she just refused to come over.
Correct.
I was there a couple of times. Now, can you name again those precincts?
It was 2.
If you in precinct, listen, because your vote probably, did it count, Art?
I mean, they counted, and that's the sad part about it, right? Is that everything was so messed up that they counted, and whatever number they have, say it was 220, well, then they're going to count that 220, but you can't go back and recount because it was imbalanced, and they can't break the seal on the canisters because the books was imbalanced when they certified. That's just like with the absentee ballots.
Yes.
Instead of them doing them separately this year, they put all the ballots, it's like a book, right? And they consolidated 10 precincts in each book. So you had 6 different books. 5 out of the 6 absentee ballot canisters you cannot recount.
Wow.
They didn't sign, or either they broke the seals and didn't make remarks on why they broke the seals or anything like that. And that's like 50 precincts that they cannot go back in and recount.
How many?
It's like 50 precincts. It's 10 precincts in each book. And when they called Gloria Boone over to find out what was going on with that, she came, it was like 49 ballots that they couldn't balance. So when they said, hey, do you plan on signing for what you're telling us? She said, no, I'm not going to sign that. It's on video. Yeah. It's on video. I was there and I recorded everything. She said, no, I'm not signing. They said, you the election director. You know, you the one that put all this together. She said, I put it together, but I wasn't there, so I'm not signing it. So you had one board canvasser that said, I'm not signing neither. If the election director who put this stuff together isn't going to sign, why should I sign? Why should I certify it when you got all this stuff going on and she don't want to sign? Why should I sign?
Well, Art, I do have a question for you. Didn't Gloria Boone, throw Inez and Davina Donahue in the quotes?
Yes.
What happened there?
She threw them under the bus when they was asking her to sign, and one of the canvassers said, you know, this has been going on for a long time now. And she turned around and said, well, you have to talk to the clerk, Miss Brown. So they started going back and forth about Miss Brown. And one of the canvassers was like, well, Miss Brown isn't here.
And she wasn't responsible for this election.
She's not responsible. Davina was there, and Davina had delegated Gloria Boone. She was over the absentee ballots. My issue here is how you going to put a part-time person over an important election like this.
Who's the part-time person?
Nate Moore.
Nate Moore, which was a contract
Right.
employee, part-time, just for this election.
Correct.
And they put him, don't know what his credentials are or anything,
Right.
over the absentee ballots, right?
Correct.
And you see the mess we got.
And he was the one that the young lady said Nate was the one that added the name on that list of voters. And
What's the state law? You know what the state law is?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Art.
It's 168.932 C. An inspector of election, clerk, or other officer or person having custody of any record, election list of voters, affidavit, return, statement of votes, certificates, poll book, or any paper, document, or vote of any description, which pursuant to this act is directed to be made, filed, or preserved, shall not willfully destroy, mutilate, deface, falsify, or fraudulently remove or secrete any of all of these items in whole or in part, or fraudulently make any entry, erase, or alteration on any or all of those items, or permit any other person to do so.
So bottom line, that was a fraud.
That it says do not remove, do not add. It says do not make any entry, fraudulent entry, or erase. So that was a fraud.
Now at the top of it of that what does it say? If you commit any of the
It's Michigan election law,
yes.
Act 116 of 1954, 168.92, prohibited conduct, violation as felony.
Oh, so it's a felony.
It's a felony.
See, that's I want you to read that part. You and any of those
items
below,
right.
or even below. So allegedly, that Nate committed a felony.
Yeah, because he directed, he put the name in there in her drive. She was scared to death. And if you go look at it on the video,
she was crying, wasn't she?
Yeah, you go to 3 hours and 56 minutes, you'll see where she's saying that Nate is the one that added it in there. And why is Nate doing precincts when he was over absentees?
Well, I spoke with a lawyer the other day and was kind of saying, and the lawyer said, well, it's conspiracy on a whole lot of levels in this election. And a conspiracy is two or more engaged in an unlawful act.
Correct.
That's what a conspiracy is. And I'm like Tanya Burns said, we got the whole, I don't care who it is, individual responsible for this debacle of the Flint election on November the 8th, because we had individuals that bled and died for our rights to vote. So if someone wanted, by the way, I do like your Michigan. I see. I do. I like it. Yeah, okay. We Michigan today. But anyway, Art. So we got an issue here. So do you think that the Department of Justice, FBI, or any other federal agency should come in and investigate this election?
I think somebody should, man. It's, I know everybody kind of like skittish to say anything or speak up because of 2020. President Trump, hey, this isn't a Republican or Democratic thing. This is hard, true video evidence of wrongdoing, and it needs to be taken care of. And the sad part, Mr. Dumas, is the fact that the city council won't release the names so that the people can vet the clerks that's getting ready to come in, so that we can know that, hey, we can talk to them about what issues we're having right now.
Well, you know what? Let me say this. City of Flint is majority black. Majority black. The council is majority black. What that say about us? See, we can blame everybody else, but gonna have as blacks, and that's why I talk about the black agenda. And we may not get to that today, but we will get to it. We had a great meeting of the black agenda. You have Jewtown, right?
Right.
Chinatown. You have every other nationality have their own agenda. The Native Americans, they have their agenda. They got casinos, all that. The only race of people that don't have an agenda is the black people. And then we talking about we want the people's agenda. No, I don't want the people's agenda. I want the black agenda. I'm not saying we're racist. We want the black agenda like the Jews have their agenda, the Native Americans. You go to Greek town, right down Detroit, the Greeks have theirs, others. But let's get back to that.
I mean, you know, you look at it, right? And all that falls in line to where we help ourselves.
Right.
And
self-preservation.
You have a lot of people saying, you know what? Black people don't like to help themselves. Black people don't like to do this. Black people don't like to do that. But as soon as we start talking and speaking about, you know, we want to be able to keep our money in our community so that we can help each other and build up ourselves so that we can have, you know, respect for our own self and have, you know, bring, you know, self-worth. When we start doing that, they start saying that we racist. They start saying that we, you know, we're trying to separate. But why? How is it that everybody else can keep money in their community and do for themselves, except for the black people when we get ready to do it?
And you know what, Art? And blacks support their communities. Go to Greek town. We go to Chinese restaurants. We support their community overwhelmingly and won't even support our own community.
They will not let us take a black business into that. Matter of fact, we can't even take a black business downtown, really, unless, well, let me say, we can take a black business downtown, but we can't own any business or buildings or anything downtown.
We can rent, lease from their buildings, but we can't have our own.
Correct.
And that's why, you know, I like when you talked about the Cloud Road.
Yeah,
we need our own Cloud Road business center.
You know, real quick on that. But what's so upsetting is when every time I spoke to Mayor Neely before he got in office about this, him and Clyde Edwards was supposed to be helping me do Cloud Road a business district. Every time we start screaming about Cloud Road Black Business District turned to a DDA district, which is the same as downtown Development Authority. Because money will start coming over on the north side, MEDC, which is Michigan Economic Corporation. You can start getting startup money, tax breaks, those Oprahs.
Black community over there in the black,
right in the
black Black Wall Street over there on Cloud Road.
Right. As soon as we start talking about that, Mott will start in different places will start sending money
pennies
through Burston. No, they send.
Oh, that's Burston. Oh yeah, Burston. Okay.
Because they see Burston as an icon or landmark in on the north side. So when they start putting money through there, it's like, oh, they doing for the north side. Remember about a couple of years ago, they sent like 1.6 million and said we're gonna start doing pop-up shops because we started talking about Cloud Road like business district. Every time we start talking about it, and then you know, man, all right, I know you got to go on.
Well, I mean, and that's good, and that's another topic, you know, that's germane to this. Now, during the election, I want to let you know that it was some Republicans felt that they got messed around by what the board of canvassers did, who were in very close elections with Democrats. And I talked with some school board members that were on the board, felt that they got messed around because they can't call for a recount, can they? Because of those canvassers. What if one of any of the candidates that was on that November ballot relative to the city of Flint?
They can call for a recount, but the majority of the books, canisters can't be open because they was imbalanced.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like I said, you got all the absentee ballots except for one book that
under lock and
key that cannot be counted. And I know of a couple of people who lost in the end when absentee ballots came in. and and all of them lost by 1,000 votes. So I'm not. I don't want to say it was fraud with the absentee ballots itself, but all I can say is we know for sure and for certain that names was being added to the voting list fraudulently. We know that for a fact. So how many other names that wasn't caught that was added to the list or anything else to absentee ballots or whatever? We can honestly say that this occurred because we know and we saw that. So if I was a candidate, I would go to the courts because the courts can order those canisters to be open. I would go to the courts and ask for a forensic audit to where they can match up signatures, because you and I both know that absentee ballots was mailed out to dead people. My cousin and my aunt got absentee ballots. I got an absentee ballot and didn't request one. And the only way to get an absentee ballot is you have to fill out an application.
Wait, Art, and people that requested an absentee ballot. One gentleman, I'm not gonna call his name, he never he never got it. And then when I went and talked with Gloria and that Nate, oh yeah, it was now. So I had a meeting with Davina, and I asked Davina. Then all of a sudden, well, he didn't put his apartment number on there. This man been both there for 20 years, same address. So he had to sign an affidavit, put his apartment number on their Art. They sent him the ballot. He checked with his mailman 2 days in a row and hadn't got it. So he called me and he said, Mr. Dumas, will you take me down there? It was on Saturday, so I can vote vote my absentee. And he went down there. They did whatever they did. They allowed him to vote by absentee. What I'm saying is, and after the election, I called him. I said, well, did you ever get your ballot? He said, no, I did not. You said it's not. I say it's fraud with the absentee ballots. Now, that's what you say. You cannot go out and collect absentee ballots from individuals.
No, you can't. That's a fact.
So since you paid somebody, not you,
right,
individual, to go pay somebody to collect absentee ballots, it's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. People going to the penitentiary.
They call that harvesting ballots, absentee ballots.
It's against the law.
So I'm gonna say this, right? I'm not gonna say any names, and
no, we're not gonna call names yet. But Gloria Boone.
Yeah, Gloria Boone, I know for sure. No, I was talking about a voter.
Right.
This one particular voter voted for Sheldon Neely, Mayor Neely. But this is what happened on election day. They go in to vote. They told them that, hey, you already voted. They said, no, I ain't vote. They said, yes, you did. Here it is right here. They said, no, I ain't vote. So instead of having that person name, whatever, fixing it and everything, they said, well, you vote where that person's supposed to vote at.
Switch vote.
They switch voters. They voted for Mayor Neely, and they a Mayor Neely fan,
And that's okay.
And that's okay. It's just the fact that the process, you having them vote in this person's place because you messed up and put this person, because they had the same last name, they put that person right here in that person's spot and switched it over. It was all kinds of different things going on. I mean, that's an honest mistake, but at the same time, you can't you're supposed to spoil the ballot out. But then the other person wouldn't have been able to vote.
If they came in.
Well, they didn't came in. And
right.
So it was a lot of that type of stuff going on. The training. We need training in the city of Flint for poll workers.
Well, who does the training for the city of Flint workers? Gloria Boone. She is responsible to train the city of Flint workers. And they say, well, they're new because of COVID. I don't care. When you paying them $300 a day or more per precinct worker, they need to be trained. They could have called in the state to train them, or they could have told the state, come in and take over this election.
Man, it's so much. and I was sitting there doing the canvases, and my hat goes off to the canvassers because they was really
Well,
really
your hat goes out
my
to
hat goes off to
my,
them, man.
let me see how I see that, Art. Let me see how that. All of them, they have 4 votes, 4 separate votes.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't meant for them to vote by what was right, not because we gotta certify this election. I don't care if all of it was fraudulent. My hat's off is to the one Republican who did not vote for it. The rest of them should have said, hey, we got too much issues here. We're not going to certify it. It had happened before in the state of Michigan. Let the state do this thing.
I mean, I totally understand where you're coming from. But with me, I'm looking at the fact that they did identify all the discrepancies that was in there and that they made sure that they noted. Because I even heard one of the canvassers say, why is the state signing these books? The state wasn't supposed to sign the books.
What books?
The Flint books, man.
When?
During the election.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's on video. It's right before Gloria came up. She was like, why is the state signing these books, man? Why?
Well, like I said, it's a lot of stuff.
They in the remarks. And what they asked Gloria, they said, Gloria, the receiving board, right?
Receiving board.
Gloria should have been there because this is where all the precincts come in and all absentee ballots are counted and they supposed to sign these books. And they over the receiving board. They receiving all the books and everything, canisters. They only had one signature, and that's what's stopping everybody from being able to recount absentee ballots is because they only allowed one person to sign that book, and that's sad, man.
Well, I see we got some lawyers listening to Facebook, man, and just want to say, how do they go about filing for an audit?
That I don't know.
I think that has to be filed with the state board of canvassers or whatever. But like you did say, if I was everyone that lost, I would get together and file in circuit court.
I'll tell you what I would do. I know
ask for an audit of this election.
I know what everybody that ran that have issues with what went down. There will be a change in location, all right. But on my Facebook page, the meeting agenda has been posted to the board's website pursuant to Rule 168.845. Hey.
That's a radio station. Make call.
Subject to the discretion of the chair during agenda item number 2, the board will allocate 3 minutes for public comment from candidates or an unauthorized representatives of a ballot question committee, representatives of a major political party or county or municipal clerks. Any other individuals wishing to address the board will be allocated 1 minute to speak during public comment. Agenda item 4, subject to the discretion of the chair.
Okay, when's that?
This is Monday, November the 28th.
So this coming Monday.
The meeting will begin at 10 a.m.
Where about?
At what is it? Vinesfield, Vinsfeld office building, room 1100.
In Lansing?
In Lansing, Michigan, 201 Townsend Street.
Can you share that? Is that sharing on your
Facebook?
Yes,
it's on my Facebook.
All right, then. Listen, we just got a few minutes left, and I don't want to thank you, but what I'm saying is that, this is about people who bled and died for our rights to vote. And our vote shouldn't be under sequester, shouldn't be locked under a vault and a canister with the key thrown away, and no one can ever open them. And the only one that can count on recount is ordered by a circuit court. And I probably would think that, someone file a circuit in the circuit court, maybe not in this district, the court of commons or whatever it is. So, because it may be conflicted for the Genesee County judge to handle that.
Correct.
And another judge should
I just feel that all the candidates should go down to, and I hate.
All right, that's good. That's good for that. We need immediate release. We need immediate release and go to court.
Immediate injunction should have been last week. Right
well,
before,
right, but you had to have, they did send something to the prosecutor's office.
I mean,
I don't know where he is on that.
I mean, we got fraud going on. Hey, Your Honor, we need this to be halted before they certify it because it's fraud, and we have proof that it's fraud. That should have been the foundation that was established in the court of law.
But all right, the board of canvassers know that it's fraud.
But they
wrote their notes
right.
to the state board.
If they wouldn't have certified, it still would have went to a third party, and that third party would have certified.
Well, listen, let the third party do right. Next week we're gonna talk about the black agenda.
Okay.
You know, a whole bunch of folks say they black in skin, but they not black in character.
They're not black in kin. Huh?
You know, I'm just saying. This is sad.
Well, before y'all cut off, Philip Lee put it in the chat that said how to get an audit. The legislator, Michigan.gov.
Okay, how to get audit. And the candidates need to know that. I spoke with some candidates, and if they felt they were rather a Democrat, Republican, Independent, Green Party, we want our votes to count and not to be manipulated by people who have fraudulently committed felonies. Right. All right, then we're off the air now, but we're on Facebook. We just want to thank you all for tuning in to Facebook. I want to say Michigan playing that other school over in Ohio at 12 noon. And we hope that Michigan come out with their A game. We're looking for a Michigan victory.
I got mine on.
I got mine on. You see mine on. Mick got a little red and white. Mick got red and white on over there. He got red and white over there. How he gonna be? Man, how he got? Y'all saw it live on Facebook. Mick got his red and white on.
How you gonna pick, man, to wear red and white on a day like this?
Man, how you gonna put red and white on?
Hey, man, how you gonna put on red and white on a blue day? Man, it's hot up.
But he all right with me. He's a Michigan fan.
Yeah, man, it's hot up.
He true and blue. But Art, before we go off, we still live on Facebook, and we want to just say this election was very important. All elections are important, and again, I think that those who ran, and especially those who lost, got the short end of a stick.
And then 4:30 Monday, need to come down to Special Affairs City Council meeting, 4:30 Monday. Voice your opinion, voice your displeasure, with the way things are going. We still want justice for Lamar, Zaire Mitchell. They still, have to receive justice, man, for what those two firemen did and what the city did in covering it up. And then gonna fire the fire chief, knowing that he wouldn't lie for him.
And I want to say congratulations and blessing to Carrie Edwards. She retired.
She retired because she was forced to.
Okay, 23 years of service.
They was gonna fire her or either demote
fire department.
I said it.
Repeat it again. Art.
I said that they was getting ready to fire her, but he didn't want to fire her. They was going to demote her, and she'd rather retire than be demoted.
And she retired as a deputy chief. So
ask that question, y'all. If you think I'm lying, ask Wiggins or the mayor that question's Channel 12 News with your fake self.
Well,
fake
so our thoughts and prayers are with Fire Chief Barden, former, and
Ms.
former
Cooper,
Fire Chief, Deputy Chief Edwards, the Cooper family, and all of that. I do have a question, Art.
What's that?
Have those lawyers filed a lawsuit yet? I haven't seen it
yet. They're gonna file soon.
What's soon?
It's soon.
What's soon?
Real soon.
What's real soon?
I can't. That's not my.
That's
not my lawsuit.
But wouldn't that be a valid? Well, you don't know, but that would be a valid question.
I mean, it's a valid question, but it's not my place.
Okay.
Because you know, I'm not the attorney, and
Okay.
I haven't.
I just saw you in all the pictures
I
and
haven't spoken. No,
everything
but I
on
would
all the TV stations.
I would have to speak to them before I give
Okay.
out any information.
That's good.
You know?
But we do know that it was injustice on the baby's family, Barden, Edwards, all those involved, the two black firefighters. And one of the firefighters is Deputy Chief Edwards'
Correct.
son. And so he may start getting retaliated against. I don't know if he will or won't.
And real quick, AC, this is what we got to look at also. And what we're not looking at is that president of the fire union. The president of the fire union is racist. The unions down at City Hall are racist. It's a whole bunch of black individuals that we can go and talk to that will show you that Sam Muma and his fire chief and all, you know, I'm not saying
fire chief or the
firefighters
unions.
It's the unions. They don't fight hard for the black employees, but they fight hard for the white employees. And they don't put black in leadership down there neither. Now, that's why Mayor Neely didn't want to come out and speak out against the two white firefighters, because the white fire president of the union was going to go after him. And he said it was political suicide because he would lose his white votes if he went after the white firefighters. So we have to start speaking out about that white firefighter union president also.
He, according to his statement, he the one who went to Neely and said, Chief Ray Barden got to go.
Correct. And then
it's on the news media that y'all like listening to.
And then turned around and said, you know, he didn't handle himself correctly as far as addressing this right here.
Right.
So you mad because he didn't want to lie? Well, and you mad because he didn't want to cover it up? And you gonna go to Mayor Neely, and Mayor Neely gonna do your bidding, and fire Chief Barton because of that?
Well, you know, like I said, you know, you can't do wrong and get by.
And William Kim leaving.
Is he?
He's trying to.
Well, he need to, because I understand
he played a part in it too.
Well, and I understand grievance to the grievance commission, the attorney grievance commission, is being filed on him, and no attorney or judge want anything to be filed on them to the attorney grievance commission of the state of Michigan. So that's it. I just want to say, kind of put this out here, the views of this broadcast of Arthur Woodson, and may not be the views of AC Dumas. Because, you know, I gets out there. I'll go out there too, but I'd be out there. He'd be out there saying stuff. This ain't Mickey and not my views.
Hey, this is
not necessarily. This is the views of Arthur Lee Woodson. Go Blue. Thank you all for listening. And we'll see you next week.
Go to my Facebook page and see everything that I just said, along with documented videos.
Are you coming on today?
For what?
Your Facebook page.
No.
Okay, good. All right, then. See y'all later. Go Blue 12 noon.